The Lisbon Metro was founded in 1959, and art was embodied in its very first stations. Later, as more stations were added to the network, individual artists or group of artists were selected to decorate a particular station. Often the art mentions the location and the history of the area the station served. Travelers on the Lisbon Metro can admire tile art, painting, and sculpture. The Portuguese cultural tradition of azulejo tile panels, traditional in Lisbon, is well represented in the decoration of metro stations. If you are interested in traditional or contemporary art, take a trip on the Lisbon Metro to see the unique artworks hidden there. The Lisbon Metro has 4 lines. The most beautiful stations are on the red and blue metro lines. You will also find the very worst seen stations on the yellow line. I spent several hours on the subway trying to visit as many stations as possible and made for you the top 10 of the best and most interesting stations to visit. And even if you are not a fan of the subway, the first and second places in our rating will amaze you with their beauty. In 10th place, I put the station Campo Pequeño, yellow line. It has incredible art by Maria Kael from when the station first opened, and later the sculptures were added. These are striking life-size marble figures of women, called Women of Lisbon. The colors of the figures show the different shades of Portuguese marble. The 9th line goes to Colégio Militar, blue line. The blue-tiled corridors reminds of the old days when tiles were very common in schools, public institutions, monasteries, and palaces. In short, you can admire the skill of making tiles in Portugal. The 8th place is occupied by Jardim Zoológico station, blue line. This was one of the first stations of Lisbon Metro, and it was restored in 1995. As you can see, the paintings on the tiles, drawing of the animals and plants, is inspired by the nearby zoo. On the 7th place, Picoa station, yellow line. This station has something interesting inside and outside. The entrance to the station has an original cast iron entrance donated by the Paris Metro. The platforms display the work of the Portuguese artist Martin Correa, in a form of azulejo tiles and sculpture. The theme of the art is Lisbon and its inhabitants. 6th place goes to Pontija station, blue line. Illuminated by natural light, hyper-realistic colorful drawing gives the station the effect of huge space. This station reminded me of the modernist style in some stations of Kiev Metro. On the 5th place, Bella Vista station, red line. We moved on the top 5, the most beautiful metro stations in Lisbon. Ceramic works of art, along with traditional tiling techniques on large walls, are amazing. Bella Vista is definitely worth visiting station. The 4th place is Chelas station, red line. High ceilings and red columns give a feeling of spaciousness. In many of Lisbon's metro stations, you may notice that they feel very limited. Low ceilings and dark colors in the design, but Chelas stations feels different. Also pay attention to the graphic design. I love abstract art and this station reminds me about that. Before moving on the top 3, let's discuss a few stations worth mentioning. Cidade Universitária, yellow line. This station takes you to the university's campus of Lisbon. It is decorated with very beautiful tiled composition and quotes of philosophers. Oriente, red line. The station itself is not particularly impressive, but take the time to look at the paintings at the ends of the platforms. Artists from 5 different parts of the world participated in the creation of walls made of tiles and bronze. Saldaha, Yellow Line. The main themes of the station are the 4 elements: earth, water, air, and fire, the 4 seasons, the 5 senses. Illustrative moments such as waiting, meeting, and farewell, presented in traditional tile work. Now let's move on to the top 3. On the 3rd place, Olivais Station, Red Line. Distinctive feature of the station are ceramic sculptures and panel depicting olive trees, as the name Olivais in Portuguese suggests. There are also Portuguese motifs such as Belém Tower, Vasco da Gama or Fatima, which suggest Portugal's contribution to the development of modernity. The paintings are incredibly beautiful, and you can spend quite some time at the station looking at each one. Second place, go to Park Station. Park Station is one of the original 11 stations of the network, all of which, except Avenida, had artwork by painter Maria Kail. The station is decorated in a maritime topic. World maps inspired by the Portuguese Age of Discovery and famous quotes of the philosophers you can find on the walls of the station. If you've been on the Lisbon metro before, you won't be surprised by the first place. Olais Station, Red Line. This is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful stations, and not only in Lisbon. Multicolored panels and red columns make it more than a subway station, but rather a fantastic place to visit. The art and creativity is everywhere you turn. Olais Station was designed by an architect who has designed a number of football stadiums in Portugal. And the stained glass ceilings and the glass fish in the hall of the station take you from the subway to a fairy tale. That's all the metro stations that I wanted to show you. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. If so, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I will be very happy. And see you in the next video.